Well everyone, I wanted to make this video like a month ago, but the iPhone 16s came out, and what was interesting was that Netflix, out of all, app developers, actually pushed out a little bit of an update or statement stating that the Netflix application will stop updating its app on older iPhones and iPads. And specifically these devices that were kind of hit here with the iPhone 10 and the iPad 5th generation. Now with the iPad 5, I don't know, people are still using this iPad for the most part, but the iPhone 10 one was very interesting. And the reason for that is because personally for me, yes, the iPhone 10 is fairly old. It's like a 7-year-old device at this point, but it was honestly very interesting when I was looking at something like the iPhone 10, and I even compared my iPhone 10 against my iPhone 16 and my 15 and my 14, and I'm actually pretty shocked at how good of a job still to this day the iPhone 10 is still, doing. Now with this statement that Netflix made about a month ago, there's probably going to be a lot of other applications that will probably end up going around the same thing and doing around the same thing. So those particular applications will probably also no longer go through and then, not get up too many updates either. So there's a very high likelihood that, in the future, Snapchat, Instagram, those types of applications will no longer support the iPhone 10 either. It just so happens that the iPhone 10, Netflix is one of the first ones to kind of do this. Now, one of the big things to kind of think about here in this particular situation is that with something like the iPhone 10, this is an iPhone that in a lot of ways still performs fairly well. I think the build quality of this phone has always been kind of confusing because the build on this phone is just amazing. It is a really, really good built, well-built phone. But when you're comparing this thing against some other devices, when it comes down to the iPhone 16s and 16 Pros, the iPhone 10 still holds up very well from a build quality standpoint. It's just everything else internally, that's where this iPhone starts to kind of fall short. The performance of this iPhone just really isn't that great anymore. The display itself gets fairly bright still and it still looks pretty good. But the screen technology itself, it's not an LTPO, display. It's also missing out on things like, 120 Hz refresh rate, dynamic island, things like that. There are a few key areas where this phone is kind of missing out on, but I do think beyond that, with something like the iPhone 10, it's still a very interesting phone. I would not recommend buying this phone probably for anybody, but when it comes down to it, it still is a very interesting device, and it's kind of sad that now we're starting to get into its, kind of end of life here, so to speak. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.